Welcome back guys, I'm Vesper, and it's time for another character trailer breakdown for Street Fighter V. I guess we can't really say we're surprised by this reveal for Laura since it's been leaked so many times, man. Leak lists, leak screenshots, early releases of trailers. Honestly, man, who works for this PlayStation YouTube site? You gotta get your shit together, man. I don't know what's with all these early release trailers by accident. Anyways, Laura is officially revealed, and now I can finally do a breakdown of the trailer. But first, let's talk about Laura as a character. A lot of people like to compare her to Blanca because, you know, she's from Brazil, she wears green clothing, she even uses lightning. And during her super, she rolls around the screen, which looks really weird. But not until recently we found out that her last name is Matsuda, which, in case you guys don't know, is also Sean's last name. But anyway, she's not throwing around a basketball or anything, and it just has been recently confirmed that she is in fact related to Sean. She is Sean's older sister. It says this on the official Japanese Street Fighter page. Her fighting style, according to Capcom Unity, is Matsuda Jiu-Jitsu. Her archetype is a mobile grappler with a twist. She actually has a projectile. This is pretty nuts for a grappling character to have a projectile. This is going to create a lot of mix-up scenarios and pressure situations. So let's talk about Laura's move list now. I'm going to break down the trailer piece by piece, but I think it's best that we first discuss her V-skill and V-trigger. Laura's V-skill is called linear movement, and it has 3 different variations. So let's discuss the first 2 variations, which allow her to do a command dash pretty much forward or backwards. So by pressing the mediums and holding forward, you'll dash forward, and then holding back while pressing the mediums will make her dash backwards. So this is the main reason why she's a mobile grappler, because since she has her own command dash using her V skill, she can cancel her normal attacks, which are special move cancelable, into her command dash, or even dash out, baiting certain attacks. So now for the third variation, if you choose to hold no directions at all and just press the mediums, she will do an overhead kick. I can only assume that this third variation is her primary way of gaining V gauge. Moving on to Laura's V trigger, it is called Spark Show, and it's an install based V trigger. So for a limited amount of time, Laura will be put into an electrifying state. This will passively add a lightning effect to all of Laura's special moves, make her projectiles travel further, she'll deal more stun on her attacks and grabs, and it will make the distance that she travels during her V skill even further as well. So in other words, this pretty much boosts all of her strengths as a character all at once. So this is definitely a really good V trigger that complements her very well. Okay, so it's time to break down the trailer itself. Let's go by this clip by clip. There's actually a lot of different segments to this trailer, but we'll still be going in chronological order. So the trailer begins with Laura landing a standing hard kick, and it just so happens to be her crush counter, and then she does a crouching medium punch into her dashing elbow strike special attack. I'm just calling it an elbow strike, I don't really know what the name of the special move is. But anyways, this is a 2-part special move. It's done by doing core circle forward and punch, and if you land a hit on the opponent, you can choose to do a throwing follow-up option. I don't know what the command is to do the follow-up throw afterwards, but based off the footage, I think you just input throw, so light punch and light kick at the same time. It also seems like you cannot do this follow-up throw unless you actually hit the opponent with the dashing elbow strike. So in the next clip, we see Laura's crouching medium punch again. We'll be seeing this a lot in the trailer because you can special move cancel from it. Anyway, she cancels this into her forward V skill, and then she does a forward throw. Karen also has a command dash in Street Fighter V, but she no longer has her command throw, so Laura could also use her command throw in this situation. Now in this next clip, we see Laura do her dashing strike upwards, using it as an anti-air. This is actually, as far as I know, the hard punch version of her dashing elbow strike. It also seems that the throw follow-up to this is actually automatic on hit. Now that I mention this, it seems pretty similar to Viper's Thunder Knuckle, where you have horizontal and vertical variations, but I wonder what the hitbox on this thing is like when the opponent is actually standing on the ground. Moving on to the next part, we see one of Laura's command normals, which actually leads into her target combo. This is forward hard punch into hard punch, which actually makes Ken airborne. And then she follows this up with the hard punch version of her dashing elbow strike. This command normal, her forward hard punch, looks really good because she gains so much distance from it. It looks like it's really good to do after a V skill back dash, and then you go right into it, and then you can fish right into a target combo. So I don't know, this looks really good. Now in this next clip here, we get a lot of information. First, Laura starts off with her neutral V skill, so this is her overhead kick. Now the first crazy thing here is that it causes a crush counter, and as far as I know, there are no other V skills in the game that can do this. Since you gain a huge amount of V gauge from getting a crush counter in the first place in Street Fighter V, I wonder how much total V gauge she got for landing this with a crush counter. This then puts Ken into a crumpled state, and then she follows this up with a crouching medium punch into the EX version of her dashing elbow strike, and it looks like the throw part of this is an automatic follow-up as well. As crazy as Laura's overhead V skill looks, I know for sure that it's definitely unsafe on block. With the current gameplay footage that we have of Laura so far, I see this overhead being punished a lot by crouching light punches and crouching light kicks, so it's at least -3, -4. Alright, so in this next clip we see Laura do her crouching medium punch again, cancel into her back V skill, which makes her do her back dash, and then she goes right into her neutral V skill, which is her overhead kick. This part is a pretty good example showing Laura's mobility and mix-up potential. Now we finally get to see Laura's projectile. First she starts off with a crouching medium punch cancelled into the EX version of it. This is done by doing core circle back and punch, or 2 punches in this case. We can see that the EX version causes a knockdown on hit, and I'll explain her projectile further in a bit here. Now in the trailer we get to see Laura's command grab. This is done by inputting core circle back and kick. This is actually a huge surprise, just quarter circle back kick for her command grab, not a half circle or a 360. Now the actual footage we're seeing right now is the EX version of her command grab where she actually dashes forward. We know she's not using her V skill forward because she's flashing yellow during the startup frames. The normal version of her command grab is just her literally just grabbing in place, she doesn't move forward. So this is really crazy. I wonder if the EX version gives her armor, but I think that'd be a little too nuts for how fast it is. The next clip shows us Laura's V reversal. Nothing much to say here except that it causes a knockdown, which is great, and this allows her to do some follow-up mix-up afterwards. Now we get to see Laura's EX version of her dashing elbow strike once again. It goes horizontal and it actually has a point of armor on it, so this is pretty nuts, really anti-projectile. I guess Zangief is really sad not having his green hand back after seeing this. Okay, so now we get to see a better visual of Laura's fireball. So the trailer is using movie magic and actually not showing us that Laura was charging this projectile. So Laura can charge her projectile by simply holding punch. Charging her projectile makes it travel further and do more hits. Now the actual speed of the projectile, no matter what strength you use, seems to move it very slow, and I'm not sure if you can charge the EX version. Now having a projectile like this on a grappling character is very unique. It could even be used as an anti-air because you have a detached hitbox in front of you. It could also create a lot of pressure. Also, you'll notice that Laura's projectile makes her move forward a little bit too, which is great. So back to the footage, Laura is throwing a charged up projectile and then she's using it to cover her tracks while she V-skills forward and then does a back throw. Now we finally get to see Laura cancel something other than a crouching medium punch. This is Laura's crouching medium kick, and the range on this thing looks actually pretty nuts. She cancels this into her back V skill, and then she follows this up with an EX version of her elbow strike. Ken attempts to counter her, but since it has armor, it absorbs the attack and just flat out beats Ken. Moving on to the next clip, we see Laura do her projectile, and then it looks like she's just doing a normal forward dash because of the distance it travels, and then she goes right into her command grab. Now this is really tricky because it looks like the projectile is just about to hit Ken, and then it disappears. In fact, if you don't charge a projectile, it disappears pretty damn fast. Now we get to see Laura do a big combo. She does a jumping hard kick into another target combo. This looks like standing medium punch into medium kick. She cancels this into her V trigger, and then she follows this up with a standing hard punch into the EX version of her projectile, which causes a knock-up, and then she links this into the hard punch version of her elbow strike. Now I'm not 100% sure that her target combo is standing medium punch to medium kick. The thing that throws me off is that the fact that she's able to link a standing hard punch after she cancels into V trigger, which is kind of crazy because I didn't think she would have enough hit stun to do that. I'm pretty damn sure that she's linking into her standing hard punch because from the gameplay footage that we've seen before, she actually uses this as her crush counter. So I'm pretty positive that this is her standing hard punch that she's linking into. So that means the other attack must be her standing medium punch, and then the attack where it looks like she's hitting with her knee has to be a standing medium kick. But who knows, I could be wrong. Laura already broke one rule with the crush counter system, and that's using her V skill as a crush counter. Now we're finally at the end of the trailer and we get to see Laura's super, which is a dashing, unblockable grab super. The distance she travels is pretty far, and I wouldn't be surprised if you can combo into this, and the animation itself after you hit the opponent is pretty damn wacky. So yeah, I guess that's it guys. I hope this video has shed some light on the potential of this character and how she works, and I can't wait to see some more gameplay footage of her in the future. So as usual guys, I will be following Street Fighter V very closely, so be sure to hit that subscribe button to share your support, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.